Hello there, I hope you are doing well. Today I will take a question from a follower. Please make a video of how to get into private university to Brazil for international students. Well, it's an interesting question and I will try to answer you and give you additional information. So to come to private universities here in Brazil is generally easier than coming into public universities. There are less bureaucracies. But I think the only difficulties you might have is going through the embassy. That's the visa processes. Recently it's been a little bit difficult to get the visa to come to Brazil. So I think that's the biggest challenge that you have, getting a visa. But if you want to study in any private university in Brazil, the first thing you have to do is to send them a message. You send them an email. You look for their email, usually on their websites. In the description of this video, I'm going to leave a link that takes you to the best Brazilian universities. There is a filter. So what you need to do is to filter the private universities. Try to configure your browser in English so that you can have the information in English in case you are an English speaker. If your language is another, you can configure it in that particular language. Now here on my list you have Pontifícia Universidade Católica do Rio Grande do Sul. That's the best private university here in Brazil. It's from my mobile device. And I will change the language option here. Okay, I've translated the web page. As you can see, best universities, that's the overall ranking 2023, according to Folha de São Paulo. Here you can select which university you want to filter out. And I have tried it, it didn't filter out. So it means that it doesn't function on the mobile device. So you can try that on your computer browser. Don't do it here. If you want to do it here, you should just look at the colors. For instance, yellow for the public and blue for the private. As you can see, the general ranking, the best university in Brazil is the USP. Yeah. And when you go to the 19th position is the first private university. That's the PUC, Rio Grande do Sul. You can see more. You see PUC Rio. As you can see, the Catholic universities are the best in Brazil. That's the overall ranking here in Brazil. If you check the list, you will see that the Pontifícia Universidade Rio Grande do Sul, Rio de Janeiro, São Paulo, you will see that they're at the top. They're the best here in terms of private institutions. But in all Brazil, you have many private institutions. There are lots of them. In São Luís, where I live, if you go to all parts of the city, you'll find a private institution. The popular is Uniceuma, and they are very good. The standard, is very high. But one thing they have in common is they are very expensive in general. So let's not be sentimental in this case, right? They are very expensive. The medical courses are the most expensive. For instance, if you want to study the medicine and surgery, you can pay like 5,000 upwards per month, as school fees. And you have courses like odontology. In some places you call it dentistry, courses related to health, nursing. They are very expensive, and courses like administration, like business, something, management, psychology. These are marketable courses. They are hard courses that when you graduate you can get a job. So these are courses that sometimes you have to pay a lot to study them in private institutions. Unfortunately, here in Brazil, they are kind of expensive. But all the same, there are people who study on scholarships there. Some study on full scholarship, some is partial. And there is a program that Brazil provides to some of the students, which is called the FIES. United States has a similar program. That is why sometimes they say that, okay, the students, they graduate with debt because you have to pay after you graduate. So here, the government finances your studies, and after you graduate, you have to pay back. So there is that possibility here. But I don't know if that functions for the international students. Since you are not Brazilian, you might not have that privilege, okay? So how you come into Brazilian private universities, you send them emails. They will send you all the guidelines of how you do the application. Usually they are simplified applications. So this is a sample from a university. The steps are, first of all, they send you ficha de inscrição, which is the form that you first of all sign. Then you have histórico escolar, transcript, of course. Then you have formulário de prévia das disciplinas. Photo 3x4, that is the passport size photograph. Cópia do comprovante de seguro-saúde com cobertura internacional. Well, this is an option that is similar to the PEC-G, PEC-PG, PEC-PLE, and the GCUB. It's similar. You need to have an international insurance. Yeah, that's the health insurance, right? You need to have that. And comunicar ao CII a data da chegada do Brasil. I think that is the last step. It's not necessary in this explanation. What I notice is that they don't accompany the process of your visa. They might give you the documents, you know, the invitation letter and everything, so that you go and process your visa. But what I notice is that they don't accompany you to do the visa, right? So it means that maybe it's between you and the embassy, right? And another thing is you need to show that you speak Portuguese. That is something that they don't cover too. So it's very difficult for you this time. It means that you need to study Portuguese on your own. It's different from the other programs like PEC-G, GCUB, that you have the option to study the language when you come to Brazil. So here you need to provide that. And also they don't provide other covers like maybe residency, food, transportation. They don't do that coverage, which makes it different from the other programs. While other programs can cover your feeding, they can cover your transportation, they can cover your housing, they can even give you a stipend. Here they are making it very clear that they don't cover that. So it means you will finance everything when you come to Brazil. But as I said, it's easier to come to private universities. Since you have to pay, actually when we pay, it makes it easier, of course. So it's our money that is working there. So I hope this video helps. See you in the next video.